Hi everyone! I wanted to share a few general tips and tricks with you. So as you're working on your first project and you're getting the hang of making your knit stitches, here are a few things to think of as you're going along. So the first thing that I want to share with you is that you should always be keeping your needles in this cross position. I see some new knitters try to do something like this at some point. They make their stitch and they hold their needles parallel, and then they're unable to get that new stitch off the needle. If you keep your stitches or your needles in this cross position, you'll see that it's always pretty easy to do so. The other thing is that you shouldn't be tugging at your knitting at any point. Some people do this between every stitch. It's completely unnecessary. It's an added step. It'll put too much strain on your hands too. All you need to do is just move along very smoothly. Now, once I get to my new row, I want to show you some techniques on where to be making your stitches and keeping your stitches on your left-hand needle. So on your left-hand needle, I like to keep my stitches pretty close to the tip, so they're always there and I'm not reaching too far with my right-hand needle to get a stitch to work with, like so. To keep them from falling off the needle, I also keep my pointer finger just right there, so I'm always in control. The added benefit to that is that I can also use my thumb and my forefinger to just keep pushing these stitches up, so they're always at the tip of the left-hand needle when I need them. The opposite is true for your right-hand needle. So with your right-hand needle, you want to make sure that you're inserting it far enough that you're using the full circumference of the barrel of the needle to create your new stitch down here. So if you're working on the tip of your needle, you'll find that it feels very insecure because you always feel like your stitches are going to fall off on your right-hand needle. And the other thing is that your stitches will end up too tight because you're not wrapping your yarn, making your new stitch around the full circumference of the barrel of the needle. So it'll be too tight once you come to the next row and try to knit them. So always make sure you're using the full circumference of the right-hand needle. The last tip I'd like to share with you is to use sliding motions with your needles, with your right-hand needle especially. So I like to come to my left-hand needle, slide into the stitch, come back through and slide my stitch off the left-hand needle. So again, sliding into the stitch, wrapping my yarn, coming back through, sliding it off. I'm keeping a lot of contact between the needles, and this way I always know where my stitches are. I drop them far less, and I can work much faster with these sliding motions. So instead of inserting, wrapping, pulling it out, think of it as sliding in, wrapping your yarn, sliding back out. And those are little tips and tricks. I hope you try them and I hope it improves your knitting experience. Happy knitting, guys!